Hello my friends, and welcome to part 193 of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Let's Play series. So in today's episode, I'll be doing the Skill Drain Duel Trial. And apparently they call it Extreme because this is supposed to be like a crazy restriction, I guess. But first, I'm doing the Duel Live and the Master News. So while I'm doing that, please like, share, and subscribe, and consider ringing that notification bell. And feel free to set the notification bell to your preference, whether it be like looking through specific videos, because I do kind of do playlists still, but I put them all into the Let's Play. There's all my missions right there. Oh, and if you want to support me a little bit more directly, you can check the affiliate links. Just keep in mind that, like, in order to support me with those, you do need to click on them through my link, buy stuff. Because if you don't buy them through my link, then you it won't be going to my channel. So that's cool. And I will do timestamps once I reach. I will do special videos, like, probably once I reach certain milestones, but I'll figure out like what I'll let you know when I decide like what the next milestone is, like once I reach that too. But yeah, I think I did get a new subscriber recently, so thank you to 85 subscribers now. That's pretty great. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not, but thank you. And here I go through the accessories. So that was a Cardian accessory, pretty cool for the Cardian players. The icon, and I do show off that the Ash Blossom icons, inspired icons, will be going away in 12 days, so just keep that in mind. There's the deluxe frame, which is always cool because it has animations, but of course I'm hanging on to my gems, which is also why I haven't bought the Gold Duel Pass yet. So if for those wondering, that's why. Here's an Ibli one showing off Ibli. That's pretty cool. And if you need more time to look at them, you can always feel free to pause. I do try to help give you time to read these, but if you need a little bit extra time, you can always pause the video. Yeah. And so, just to let you know, I did surrender with a few of the duels because I was thinking, like, if I didn't, I might run out of time. And I almost did. Of course, I cut, so it wouldn't show, like, be an hour. But, like, yeah, like, before the cutting, it was almost an hour. So I'm glad I just barely made it once again. And, yeah, I'm going a little slower with these two, just so you can, like, have time to read. Oh yeah, they added new grades to Master Proficiency test, which kind of crazy because like I just now got to 11 through 15. Now I can go through the new grades. I'm glad I just showed that. Oh yeah, and then the ban list. So cards to be limited is the Soul Piercer, and then a few Snake Eyes cards will be semi-limited. So they're hitting the Super Heavy Samurai deck and the Snake Eye deck, and the Super Heavy Samurai deck is, even though it's one hit for them, like Soul Pierce is a big one because it's not a once per turn, and apparently it kind of kills the deck. And I may not be as understanding as other people, but if other people seem to think it's dead, then maybe it is, which kind of sucks because I just crafted the deck that was for like the solo mode thing, but still, like, it kind of stinks. But so I might not be able to use it for next season, but that's okay. I can always use sprites if I don't want to use that. I'm glad I ranked up to where I wanted to this season, though, before that happened. Oh yeah, and here's a few new titles. Oh yeah, and once again, I think you already saw them. Or is this a... Yeah, no, this is for the Duel Triangle. So I'm just showing off the additional missions and the accessories and stuff you can get, which I was able to finish the whole Duel Trial today, so that's really nice. Or it might not be today, the day you're watching, but April 27th is basically when I got it done, so that's pretty cool. And I was thinking maybe I could get it with the alternate account, but like it's kind of getting difficult, and I'm like, I don't care. And like I was trying to build purely on that for the exceed category, but like just barely and like miss it with the packs, and I don't really want to like craft or cards like because like there's not a lot of like crafting resources for that account just yet. And here's a few new accessories. Like, the only ones that are going away, though, are the Ash Blossoms. So you have plenty of time to buy these other ones. I believe they're the only ones going away. I mean, I was going through, like, all the accessories I didn't look at in the shop. But I decided to cut that, a lot of that. But I'm thinking, yeah. Oh, yeah, and there's the maintenance notice and the issue. There's actually an issue with the mate. I don't think that happens a lot. The Duel Pass mate. But, like, I mean, how many people have already gotten Link Rebo, though? Like, I'm not even sure what grades you need to get to in order to unlock the Link Rebo. It might be... I'm not sure if it's all, like, all the way. Like, maybe it's not, but still, I bet it's pretty high. And here I'm actually going over the festival, and I actually messed up. I'm just trying to show off the different cards. So I decided to go for True Draco, kind of my skill drain deck that I'm planning to use with the Outlich, but I didn't have Outlich yet, so I decided to like do like True Draco instead. And the kind of the nice thing about True Draco is that like it is possible to get rid of both skill drains with this deck if you really want the True Draco effects live. Like, it's not that important, but you technically can. And I basically show you like one way you can do that in one of the duels, which was pretty cool. So I could like turn on like 2 True Draco effects, which was pretty nice. It is nice that skill drain is also a continuous trap, so you can just remove that. And how this festival works is like they're placed face up. I wasn't exactly sure how they would do it, if they would just like have them face down, but I guess it makes more sense than they're face up, so the effects are just live right away, because otherwise like players could just decide like I don't want to activate it. I mean, there are ways to get rid of them, and so maybe they should have made it so that you couldn't get rid of skill drains if they really wanted. But maybe they wanted, like, they intended to give people the choice whether or not they wanted the skill drains or not, sort of. Even though it might be a little bit difficult. But there are cards where you can get rid of both at the same time, which is what I think my first opponent did here. And so what I did was I decided to remove a few cards, and later on you're also going to see that I decided to move Lightning Storm for some of the cards, because I realized that like Lightning Storm isn't very good when I have a face-up card. I forgot about that. But all the other cards were pretty good. Yeah, so I decided to remove some. I removed the continuous trap that was also a monster with the 3000 defense for so just some floodgates. And then the torrential I moved for like spell destructions, because this I think it can also be just an OTK, so it might be better that I have like those spell destructions, like in case I can get an OTK, maybe like putting like enough high attack monsters right away. Like, it is possible. It might be a little bit difficult a lot of the time, but it is definitely possible. And I wasn't sure if like the whole like destroy effect for the for that malefic Cyber Dragon would be negated or not, if it would be destroyed if there wasn't a field spell even with skill drain. So I decided like I'm just gonna bring it out when I have the field spell anyway. But I do later find out that yes, you don't need a field spell if its effects are just gonna be negated. So that's pretty nice. But the only downside of that is another one of my opponents play this same card as this one opponent did, and that was while I didn't have a field spell. So like as soon as the 2 skill drains off the field and there's no field spell, it's just gonna get destroyed right away. But at least a nice thing about if there is a skill drain is that you can like bring out more than one, since its effect isn't a hard once per turn. So I believe you should be able to bring out multiples of this guy with the skill drain out, because I believe it'll also like negate the whole like there can only be one of a malefic on the field at a time. It does negate the fact that it's the only monster allowed to attack, so some pretty nice effects to be negated. And I kind of like the way this plays out, because like I can play under skill drain, but it's also possible for me to be able to still make some plays even if there's no skill drain. So it kind of works out both ways. It may not be the strongest, but it's cool that it can work out. Yeah, and then you see the field spell, and then since the skill drain was also destroyed and there was no skill drain. But at least here, now I get to activate the effect of Ignis. And I kind of forgot for a second that these guys, the True Draco guys that add stuff, they can only add stuff when they're tribute summoned. So if I special summon them off of the Return the True King, unfortunately they won't have their effects anymore. So that's kind of a downside. Yeah, so what they in case you didn't see that, what they banished face down there was the Natis, which doesn't really matter too much. And my X deck doesn't really matter too much, which is why I kind of skipped over like showing what I was banishing with the Prosperity. Like my X deck is pretty much just there to act as fodder for the pots, and also so that my opponent can't just guess when I'm playing. But it can come in handy. Maybe like Natis can be just I didn't get to show it off, but like Natis can be sent with the punishment, or if I want some more delayed destruction, I have the fossil fusions that I happen to have on me. I didn't want to craft any new stuff. Luckily I had the True Draco stuff on me from like past, and it's nice that I was able to use it again, because it has been a while. And yeah, so I guess it's kind of first look at the skill drain, but like later within the solo mode, you'll be able to see it in its full glory with the Eldritch. So this kind of just a different look at it. Also, I like replaced a few cards for like Barbaros and like the Time Lord and stuff like that, because I didn't want to craft all of the SRs and URs just yet. I'll do that later, maybe, or maybe I don't, and I pretty much just craft the Eldritch stuff. And then my X deck is a nice thing about having an X deck is like if I happen to have 2 level 10s. And the Kaiser Coliseum, I can go from 2 attack with both, like high attack monsters, go from 2 to 1 again by going into Exceed, and now they're limited to only having 1 monster during their turn, which is really nice. I can do that during the main phase too, which is one thing I do during one of the later duels. Oh yeah, and in case you didn't realize, this is another post-commentary video, since I figured the dual trout wouldn't take that long, like, and I'm glad I just made it. Yes. Yeah, so, yep. Oh yeah, and also I figured out how to, get a few of the, more buggy rewards points for being the ones, like, 100 points for the puzzle line. Wasn't sure if it was possible or not, but it turns out it is possible. And so, for those of you who don't know and you have that, you basically the best way to do that is to go to rewards dashboard and click on it from there. You don't have to do the puzzle. I didn't think you would, but yeah, I got the 100 points. But it's I guess there's a big cooldown. Because I still haven't like had the option to be able to do that again for another 100 points. It still like has a check mark thing, if anyone knows about that from Xbox. And I did find a cool website which lets you play some earlier games. I'm not sure how you all feel about emulators, but maybe we can have a discussion on that if you like. I'm thinking emulators are probably fine for older games, maybe like but I might just be biased because I really don't want to have to spend the money. Like, but I do have like official games too, so I think it's so I don't know. Like, I don't really care like much one way or another. So, but if anyone does want another place where they can play older games without having to download anything, there's a cool website called arcadespot.com. And I looked on Reddit and like someone said that like you don't get any viruses from that. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I guess you can like say what you will about like if like that person on Reddit is correct or not, but I've been playing it and I don't think it's really has been hurting my computer. Although my computer's already kind of old and I think I might have messed up with that a little bit anyway. But yeah, you can also maybe check on Steam for older games, but you do have to buy them on that. And I don't really want to buy like computer games because I don't really, I mean, maybe if it was available for cheap enough, like if like games could be available for cheap enough on consoles, but one of the games in question is like really expensive. Even though it's on DS, it's like $100. It's like the Chrono Trigger, I guess, because it's really popular. So I've just been using Arcade Spot for a game like that because like $100 is ridiculous for a game as old as it is. Maybe like even a newer game that's really like expensive. I have been finding for less, but like still like it shouldn't be like super expensive. There's no reason it needs to be. But yeah, the only reason is because it's popular apparently. So here's another duel. I even show off the duels I lost, like that one, because I want to give you like those duels too. This one actually has a Kaiser Coliseum, which is pretty cool. Oh, I think this is the duel where I show off how I can like go from 2 to 1. I think this one is against Red Eyes. So that's pretty cool. So I think while this duel is going on, I'm gonna start on the verse. So, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. That is YouVersion's interpretation, and English Standard Version's interpretation is the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and knowledge of the Holy One is insight. That comes from Proverbs 9:10. So what that says to me is that like the fear of the Lord is basically just like putting like a bunch of trust in Him, like a bunch of faith in Him. It's the beginning of wisdom, like true wisdom, because like He's really the only one who has the best foundation. So if you do that, you're truly wise and you have much knowledge. Knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. So yeah, basically understanding that He's the one you want to put your trust in. Yeah, so I skipped over a little bit here, like a little bit of like the parts that I didn't think were as necessary. I mean, maybe some of the things you don't get as good of a look at, but like I wanted to make sure I could get this video under 30 minutes here. So hopefully I did a good enough job, and you guys can let me know what you think of my cutting skills. So what dealt damage there is like Raigeki. The Raigeki destroyed the fusion, and then my opponent activated the trap that when a monster got destroyed, it would deal its original attack as damage to both players. So that's why we both took 2400. And so as you see, I turned those two level 10s into a exceed. It didn't really matter which one because its effects would be negated anyway, but it might still come up if the skill drains get removed. But I don't know. I mean, I guess I could have done a better job with the extract, thinking like, what if the skill drains got removed? But like, it's not that important because like you only need to get 3 wins. Of course, like there are definitely other ways you can play through this if you don't like the skill drains. As you see, like double cyclone's a nice way to get rid of them both at the same time if both players happen to have them. True Dracos can technically get rid of them. So you can turn them off, but I kind of wanted to like play kind of with them, like, as much as I could. So you see a lot of that, because I feel like that's more in the spirit of the event. Like, if you just get rid of them, like, I mean, it kind of doesn't really feel like the spirit of the event anymore. Kind of like if you play a Scarecrow deck that doesn't include all the Scarecrow links, I feel like, what I looked at. So I'm not really doing that myself. I don't really want to do the Astral Out Turbo like other people are kind of doing. And oh yeah, speaking of my Scarecrow deck, I guess I misplaced the Revolts, which it was a nice looking Revolt. It was a Prismatic Secret, so I'm kind of upset about that. Maybe I'll find it, maybe I won't, but hopefully maybe I can get another one. Well, I don't even know if I do want to go into the tournaments, but maybe I should. Maybe I'll just trade up to this stuff, though. I just need a few. I still need the Appaloosa, which is getting a reprint if anyone's following the trading card game. See, here's another one. I just figured I'm just going to surrender because I don't want to run out of time. And it's a good thing that I did, because I almost did run out of time. So, yeah, I'm running. Speaking of running out of time, I should probably get to my Goosebumps book now. So, the episode discussion versus the book discussion. This time it's the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. Yeah, so anyway, how I feel about the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. So at least, unlike the Deep Trouble, I'm glad that, like, it was basically the same premise for both. So that's always nice when they do that. Although, like, I guess it, like, I don't know, like, it just, like, felt weird, the Deep Trouble. I thought maybe, like, even though they had a different premise for the Monster Blood, I feel like, actually, they didn't really have a different premise for Monster Blood 1. It was basically Monster Blood 2. But I don't know, like they just went for it right away. So if there's a Deep Trouble 2 TV show, like, it might also be much different from the book. I don't know, maybe, like, ease into that. See, and then this is why I get rid of both skill drains. I use the effect of the spell True Draco card to get rid of the first one. So that was really nice. But I still have, this is why I still have a skill drain deck, because in case I do that, now I can do the skill drain once I use both effects, or if I'm in desperate need of, like, using that skill drain. But anyway, for the move, continue on with the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. So, I kind of like how in the book, like, it was like spellbook in the show and, like, superstitions. I kind of like the superstitions kind of, like, thing better, for some reason. I don't know, like, because, like, kind of funny that he believes in a bunch of superstitions. Kind of, like, adds to, like, the fact that he's kind of weird. And the saying is kind of weird. I don't know, like, I mean, I don't know. And, like, I don't know if the superstitions is, I wonder if he did the superstitions book in the book, route in the book, because, like, he actually made, I'm not sure if he made a superstitions book yet or not, but there's a superstitions adult book, which I won't be going over, because it's an adult book by Allstein. But I wonder if he did that before or after this, like, if it was before he did this book, or, like, what, like, he already knew about the book while he had written this book. It would have been kind of cool, like, to kind of give a little bit of a nod to the book by talking about superstitions within the Scarecrow Walks at Midnight. But they just went for the spell book instead, that way. And, like, and also another thing different was the ending. The ending was different for the book and the TV show. I think I prefer the TV show's ending, though, because, like, I felt like the machine Like, it just looked a little bit more dangerous. And it was, like, bigger, too, than the bear coming to life. So, felt like maybe that was, like, more scary that, like, that had come to life. So, I think I preferred the ending, but I did prefer the superstitions book within the book. Because I don't think that trope is done as much. Just because, like, the spell book thing is kind of, like, overdone. I think that's why. So I think this is the last duel here. So not too bad. I didn't get too many losses, which was very good. DD. And my opponent ends up giving up here. Maybe it's because they, like, realized after a while that, like, this skill drain, like... I mean, sure, like, a lot of the DDs can, like, activate in his hand. But, like, you still, I think, want the effects live for, like, when you're going to the X deck monsters. So I don't know, like, why they gave up, but, like, that might have been the reason why. But yeah, anyway, if anyone wants to do a further discussion on the Goosebumps or the verse, you can feel free to message me on Facebook for a more private discussion, or just comment down and I'll be putting out a pinned comment. But maybe if you want to start it, I can, like, always just pin yours to the verse. As long as it's, like, on the actual, like, Proverbs 9:10. So yeah, now I'm showing off the packs here. And I don't think I got any, like, SRs or URs this time. Which would have been kind of nice because you can you can disenchant these cards that you get from, like, for free from the secret packs, I believe. And then as reward here, you can disenchant any of these cards. So it would have been nice to get SRs or URs. So maybe, like, those could have maybe gone into potentially maybe, like, a few of my solo mode my deck stuff. But yeah, I still don't have the decks together. I still need more gems, so I might still be a little bit before I go back into solo mode because I kind of want to wait. Maybe, like, I'll probably take a break next week and not do a video, like, and maybe, like, the week after I'll have to decide. Like, I think what I'm going to try to do is have at least one video a month. 1 or 2 videos a month. That'll be my goal right there. I'm going to try not to skip a whole month. Because I don't want to go that long on hiatus. But yeah. So I think these pre-recorded videos are working pretty well, and, like, I'm still finding time for the verse and the Goosebumps, which was one of the biggest things I was thinking, like, might get in the way, like, if I do it this way. But it turned out to be, I think, pretty well, because, like, there's a lot of, like, breaks I noticed, like, even during the duels, where, like, you can probably pretty much see what I'm doing without meaning to say. But there are a few moments where I do like to call out. So yeah, I show off the cards and how many of each I have. And I did get a hollow torrential. I don't think I have a full playset of hollow torrential, so that one was pretty nice. Because at least torrential is a pretty good generic card. So I show off the ones that are limited time only, and I also show off the gold duel pass here. So thank you everyone for watching. Whether you watch the whole video or if you watch any of the parts, I'll try to have a few timestamps for this video. Bye everyone.